Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area with all of your Pro Bowl coverage. I'm sure you saw some of the shorts that I posted here on YouTube and then also on Instagram and Twitter, everything, all the social media platforms, jenniferleechan.com. All right. So the NFC won today, which is great for George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, Drake, Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. I almost said Drake Greenlaw because that's what I've been talking about a ton is Drake Greenlaw. So obviously Robert Saleh is coming back to the 49ers. He wants to have Drake Greenlaw back. Fred Warner obviously wants to have his partner in crime back there, back at in the Bay Area. And Nick Bosa said, "Hey, that's who Robert Saleh is very adamant about bringing back." So, outside of the Dre Greenlaw news, I did ask Kyle Juszczyk today about his future with the 49ers, and he was not happy with me asking him that question. He was like, "I'm under contract. I'm tired of talking about it." So, let's talk about his contract a little bit. He has a 2-year, $9.1 million contract, average salary $4.55 million, which is the highest of any fullback, which makes sense. He is the most experienced. He has 9 Pro Bowl nods, the most of any fullback in the history of the NFL. He is the senior Pro Bowl guy at the games this weekend. And, he talked about how it's evolved. But the way his contract is structured, the 49ers have a potential out this year. And it could be that his higher amount of his contract happens this year, so they could opt out. So last year, his cap hit was $3.6 million, a little bit over that. In 2025, his cap hit is about $6.5 million. Now, it does change. The percentage of it changes each year because the cap goes up. So last year, he was only 1.41% of the cap. Now, he was under contract last year, and there wasn't question about whether he was going to be back or not. This year, he says, "I'm under contract." Well, yes, he is, but the 49ers do have the option to opt out, although he did already restructure. In 2025, his percentage of the cap is 2.36%, which is a lot more than it was in 2024. So they have a potential out. It's 1 year, $4.5 million, and it results in $2.2 million in dead cap space. So it could be that the 49ers do that. I hope not. And I understand where Kyle Juszczyk is coming from because it was a struggle last year. I talked to him and Kristen Juszczyk at the annual meeting, the league meetings, and they were there because Kristen was doing all of the work for her new brand, which is Offseason. And it just, you could tell that he was frustrated with the situation. And part of his want is to be the highest paid fullback in the league. And obviously, he can do it all. He can block, he can pass protect, he can run block, he can carry the ball, he can catch a check down, which they had to have him do this year. And he can also punt balls if necessary. He was punting in the punt competition at the Pro Bowl games and actually got 2 in the grid. So, I mean, Kyle Juszczyk is one of those jack of all trade guys. He can punt return, he can kickoff return, he can do all of it. And the thing is, in the NFL, it's what have you done for me lately? How much can you do? And Kyle Juszczyk can do it all. The only thing he doesn't do is play on defense. And obviously, I think given the opportunity, he probably would. So, those are the things that were kind of running through my head. I'm sure he doesn't want to talk about his potential situation with the 49ers. He said he'll be back. He said there's no doubt. So, that's what we all hope. I mean, Kyle Juszczyk is one of the free agents that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch brought into the fold when they took over in 2017. He's one of the only free agents. He is the only free agent left of that group, right? So it was Weston Richburg, it was Robbie Gold, it was Jerick McKinnon. I mean, they wanted Jerick McKinnon to do what Christian McCaffrey is doing. That scat back, the guy who can check down, he can catch passes, he can block. Jerick McKinnon was supposed to be what Christian McCaffrey has become in Kyle Shanahan's offense. It just didn't work out because of injuries, which is just, it sucks. But things happen for a reason. 49ers got Christian McCaffrey, and he is under contract, obviously, with an extension, renegotiated it last year. So he's back. Trent Williams will be back. He renegotiated. Brandon Ayuk should be back. I mean, mid-year, he tore his ACL week 6. So, I mean, he was shooting jumpers. I've said this on previous videos that he's been shooting jumpers in the locker room before the season ended. So, I do believe Deebo Samuel is back. George Kittle is the one that I was wondering about. Will he renegotiate? Yes, he only has 1 year left on his contract, but he is the do-it-all tight end. He blocks, he pass protects, he carries the ball, he runs great routes. He's a pass catcher. He is a tough guy. Not only that, he is the finalist for the Salute to Service Award again for the 3rd year in a row. I think he's going to win it this year. That's just my prediction. So I'm going to go to NFL Honors next week, hopefully do the red carpet and see George Kittle after he wins the Salute to Service Award. I do think he wins it. Curtis Robinson will also be there for the Walter Payton Man of the Year honors. So yeah, just Kyle Juszczyk and George Kittle are the guys that probably will need to be renegotiated this year. I mean, guys don't want to play without guaranteed money on for their future. So we'll see what happens. But Kyle Juszczyk, yes, he is under contract for another year. So that is a debate. But he definitely got a little prickly when I brought it up. So we'll see what happens. All right. Hanging out here in Orlando for another night. And I will post some more videos and definitely subscribe. Also listen to the 49ers Talk podcast with me and Matt Maiocco. I'll be keeping you guys all updated as we go along through this off season. And the next trip will be just a few days away, New Orleans for NFL honors. All right, everybody, talk to you soon.